symposium cutting through the noise from the Arizona State Capitol to Washington, D.C. The War Room starts now.
Welcome to the War Room. Every Wednesday, Bruce Gaydos, we sit down, we've got a panel, and we go over politics for the next hour. And so, on today's panel, joining us, Sal DiCiccio is back, former Republican Phoenix City council member. Good to see you there, Sal.
Thank you so much, Gaydos.
And then look, we got
Bruce.
John Holmberg, 98 KUPD host.
I like how he says that, don't you?
Morning Sickness. What's up, Holmberg?
How are you? I like the way he introduces the. I didn't know you two were married because he said Bruce Gaydos, and I've never heard it said that way
Bruce,
before. Congratulations.
comma,
I didn't hear the comma. I did not hear
Gaydos.
the comma.
I mean, it's
Congratulations.
not official.
Well,
You know what I mean?
not on Facebook.
Hey, by the way, you can watch the War Room live on
boy.
KTAR's YouTube page if you would like. But let's get right into it.
Ooh.
The big story of the day is Karen Taylor Robeson. She has announced she will run for governor in 2026. She lost to Carrie Lake in the primary. Karen Taylor Robeson back in the race. I think the only thing that's stopping her is voters. And I know how stupid that sounds. Yeah. Republican
Well, you
voters.
put a fine point on it.
It's a
There,
huge roadblock to winning an election.
Republican voters are going to vote for a guy like Andy Biggs, and they're going to leave Karen Taylor Robeson on the table again, and then they're going to lose the general election again. That's what I see happening. I don't know if Republican voters are going to pick someone that can actually win a general because Republican voters don't know how to pick somebody who can win a general election. That's what I think. Sal?
Well, I'm a little more optimistic than you are.
Okay.
I know you are.
I just really am.
I know.
But I think, with Andy Biggs and Karen Taylor in the race, it's just going to be a tough race. And if you look at it last time, Karen came within just a few points of losing to Carrie Lake, who was considered to be a very conservative person who had a lot of money with her, too. And she's going to be able to bring at least $20 million or more into the race. And I think
Robeson is.
Robeson is. Correct. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I thought it was a bottomless pit of money.
Well, it may be.
Okay,
I would be on a yacht. If someone said, hey, here's $20 million. Do you want to run or not? I think I'd be on a yacht.
But I don't know if that helps her or hurts her. I mean,
I think it helps.
It is a bottomless pit of money. I mean, she can fund her own campaign to whatever extent she chooses.
Yeah, and I think that's just going to be tough. So at the end of the day, people always criticize the money part of it, but nobody votes that way. They just vote for who they believe to be the best representative of their own values and their beliefs. So I think it'll be an interesting race. It depends on how much Andy ends up winning. Bringing to the table when it comes to cash and things like that. So I don't know how much he'll be able to bring, but it'll be a good race. I believe that this team will win the governorship. I do believe
The KTR team.
The KTAR team.
Karen Taylor Robeson. I call it KTR.
KTR.
We just dropped the A there. She's the KTR.
But I'm going to be voting for Bruce. I just
As well you should. As well you should. If nominated, I will not accept. If elected, I will not serve.
Are there two Karen Taylor Robesons? Is one Karen Taylor Robeson buddying up to Donald Trump? Gets the endorsement,
right?
Yeah.
Wants to go a little bit MAGA, which she didn't do the last time. Or is she the Karen Taylor Robeson that has been in this war room and I think is, certainly conservative, certainly a Republican, but she's not MAGA.
Yeah, the only thing I've seen of her that I really that turns me away as kind of a middle of the road guy is that I do see that. I'm kind of like, I've seen you kind of play the room.
Right.
And I like her. She seemed like a likable person, but then I'm like, but I've seen you go crazy with the crazy. I've seen you go normal with the normal, and I'm not sure which one
It gets down to who you really.
Who are you with is who you are. So it's almost an impressionable type thing. It's very political, the old school kind of like, well, just play the room.
Right.
And you'll like me no matter what. That's a turnoff.
I think we've all forgotten that, when people used to run for whatever it was, and if they were right, they were left, they'd go to the extreme. And then they come in the middle.
I think here's the difference. Right? I want to get Sal's take on this.
But it stopped.
I don't disagree.
But that stopped.
It stopped about 8 years ago.
Right.
Because the extreme is well past where the buses run now, I think. And it's really hard to come back from some of the extremes. I think that was Carrie Lake's biggest problem. I can win a primary, and then all of a sudden I have to disavow literally everything I've ever said for the last 6 months. That makes it really hard because it's not about nuance. I mean, everybody has Republicans and Democrats. You play to the base, and then you come back to the middle. The MAGA base is nowhere near the middle, and proudly so, I would argue.
Well, to Gaydos' point on that, though, too, Bruce, I would agree with you. I mean, so the further out you go on any issue, any philosophical belief that you have, the harder it is to pull back for 60 days. Remember, there's only a 60-day period of time
Good point.
that you can change your dynamic. You can change, what it is you're saying. But by then you've landed. And what's happened, though, too, if you look at elections, they have started way earlier.
Yep.
And so the defining of a candidate has started already. I
Yep.
mean, you already defined the candidate. It's already happening. So once that definition has occurred, it's really hard to pull back on, hey, I want to be more moderate. I want to be a little bit more toward the center.
But that did change, didn't it? I mean, to some extent. I mean, and you've run elections, you've won elections, and I'm sure you understand kind of. I used to know how to play that game to a certain extent. It seems like it's getting harder and harder for people to play that game.
It's getting harder because you're being defined a lot earlier. You're spending a lot more money. You're spending a lot more.
Or your
time
opponent's
on the road.
spending a lot more money on you.
Right. And so it used to be where it'd be like, things would be a little more like, quote, nuanced, like Bruce was saying. It's not like that anymore. Now it's very direct. And then you have 60 days to maybe clarify those so-called positions. And
would it be fair to say you're being defined more often? Because it's so many times you have to be the same. You cannot vary your position without being moved. Because you're out too often. You're out too much.
That's exactly it, John.
Yeah.
You're being defined. Every day
But
in and day
you
out.
think she'll be able to get through a primary? And I'm not asking you to disparage,
That's
but
okay. No, I won't.
Andy Biggs, I don't think he's as strong as Carrie Lake, even though just from a personality standpoint.
I
Possibly
think he's
physically.
strong.
And physically.
Very
He's a
possible.
little bit taller, too.
Slightly taller.
But no, I think that he is a strong candidate. I believe he is the head of the Freedom Caucus in Washington, D.C. I mean, he's got all those credentials going into this race. And, he's going to be a natural for the conservatives to fall in line with. Except that Karen Taylor has the president's endorsement. That is a huge deal.
And money.
Yeah, and money.
And money.
And money.
We're
That's a
inside.
huge deal.
We're inside the war room. Bruce, Gaydos. We've got Holmberg. From
What happened to the word
98
"and"? Wasn't there an "and" there for a while?
Gaydos,
Yeah,
that
we
was
just
good.
dumped the
Editing
"and."
things.
Okay.
Holmberg 98 KUPD. Sal DiCiccio is with us, the former Phoenix City council member. Okay, how vulnerable is Governor Hobbs right now? I mean, a lot of people want to know what she stands for. And I think the easy answer, at least for me, is, and what I like about her, is she vetoes the crazy. There's a lot of crazy stuff that comes out of the Arizona legislature, and it's way far right. And she vetoes that, and that's what I like. But if you asked me what are her top 3 issues, I have no idea.
I couldn't tell you.
I don't know.
I don't think most people can.
How vulnerable is she? Because I think if she goes up against Biggs, she's going to win. I think if she goes up against Karen Taylor Robeson, that's a toss-up. What do you guys think?
Well, I think from my, just from, 2 years out perspective,
Right.
I do believe that the Republican wins. This is a Republican state. We had this conversation last time I was on.
Then why doesn't any Republican ever win?
Well, they do win.
Not recently.
Well, the last election, you're right.
We have 2 senators that are Democrats. We have a governor that's a Democrat. We've got an AG that's a Democrat. We've got a Secretary of State that's a Democrat. Democrats aren't winning. Or excuse me,
We're just going to
Republicans
brush
aren't.
over treasurer? I mean, come on.
Well,
Mine
it's a
inspector's
200,000
Republican.
The mine
I know that.
inspector is a
It's a 200,000 vote advantage.
Yeah.
She is going to have a hard time no matter what. Whoever she runs against,
Yeah.
she is going to have a very difficult time. The question is
Why
whether or
do you
not
think
she's
so?
primary.
Why is Hobbs going to have a difficult time?
Well, personally, I think as a person, I've always liked her. I've always gotten along with her really well. But she's just not a strong leader. Okay, people want to see a strong leader. And in the Democrat Party, no different than the Republican Party, they want to see people that, they know they are defined early on as to what kind of issues that they're going to be doing.
Do you think there's a chance that Hobbs gets primaried?
I do.
Oh.
I do believe she will. I think there's a good chance that Chris Mays may run against her.
Oh, wow.
Look at you stirring the pot over there.
I
Sal.
know.
My own personal reasons
Please.
for me,
Yeah.
And that's really all that matters.
Needless to say.
Is that on the show I do a Katie Hobbs character or Katie Hobbs character?
Do you really?
Which is because I don't like when I watch her, I get lost in what she's saying because I feel like I'm at an 8th grade pep rally.
Oh my God.
I'm not. Every time she's talking,
We're gonna have like stuff where when I'm governor, we're gonna do a thing. Hi, Sal. It's nice to see Sal again. So we're gonna veto some stuff, and I need you to take me seriously.
and I'm like, I can't.
That's hard to do.
It's not. So for my personal reasons, that character's going gangbusters. She's got a crush on another guy on the show. She writes him notes, and so for me, it's been going great with her as governor. And
You like to see it continue.
yeah, and I don't know if Robeson's going to bring me that kind of stuff. So I just
You're from strictly from an entertainment standpoint.
Congratulations on your marriage, Bruce Gaydos.
So John just defined her.
Yes,
yeah,
he did.
I guess
he
I
did a pretty good job.
See, and that's the thing. You got to be careful with idiots like me. I'll ruin careers.
All right, we are inside the War Room, and you can watch it live on KTAR's YouTube page. We've got Sal DiCiccio, John Holmberg, and coming up next, 23 days in, how would you describe Donald Trump's presidency? We're going to dig into it. The War Room continues.
Hey, let me tell you about the last piece of financing you'll ever need for anything. It's called a Life Changer loan, and it can literally change your life. I mean, why do your banking with a traditional mortgage? Think about it. Traditional mortgages are meant for people who the banks don't trust, right? They stretch out payments over 30 years. For goodness sakes, you pay all the interest up front to the bank. You've got zero access to your equity. They don't trust you. Your mortgage should match your credit and how you have handled your finances and the good work that you've put into it. At Life Changer Loan, you're in control. You get to pay down, pay off, borrow back, and you do it all on your timeline. It's up to you because, well, you've earned that, all right? Check them out at lifechangerloan.com. They've got a calculator right there. You can click in there, find out exactly how quickly you could pay off your home and how much money you could save, all right? Remember, at Life Changer Loan, it's not magic. It's just math.
KTAR News Flash.
At 5:16, I'm Becky Lynn, and here's what you need to know right now. A federal judge has cleared the way for President Trump's plan to downsize the federal workforce with a deferred resignation program. This is a significant legal victory for the Republican president after a series of legal setbacks. U.S. District Judge George O'Toole in Boston found the unions didn't have legal standing to challenge the program, commonly called a buyout. The deferred resignation program has been spearheaded by Elon Musk, who's serving as Trump's top advisor for reducing federal spending. And under this plan, employees can stop working and get paid until September 30th. All of our top stories just 15 minutes away. For more news, go to KTAR.com or the KTAR News app. Time to check on the road home. Here's John Roller, live in the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
Well, Becky Lynn, for the second day in a row, I'm seeing heavy slowing heading out of town. This is going to be the eastbound I-10 just south of the 202s, the Santana and the South Mountain Freeway, as folks try to make their way to the 347. Also seeing reports of a crash southbound 347 just south of Riggs Road. So that is the heaviest slowing as we start the afternoon drive home. As far as the rest of the Valley main lines are concerned, pretty normal. We have some slowing in the downtown area from an earlier crash on the westbound 10 right near 7th Street. And up in the North Stack, starting to see some slowing from the southbound 17 transitioning to the westbound Loop 101 Agua Fria Freeway. That stays with you over to about 75th Avenue. Then you are good to go. Traffic is brought to you by YRefi. Don't let private student loan ruin your life. Go to YRefi.com. That's YRefi.com. John Roller, KTAR News.
Now, back to the War Room. Insight and analysis about the biggest political stories in AZ and DC.
All right, we are inside the War Room on a Wednesday. Bruce and Gaydos. We've got Sal DiCiccio. We've got John Holmberg. 23 days in, Donald Trump. Let's talk about it. The Pew Research Center finds 47% of Americans currently approve of Trump's job performance. This is a higher approval rating for Trump than at any point during his first term. So, is Trump performing better or worse than you expected?
I mean, if you could come up with one word for this 23 days, the word aggressive has to be it. That's got to be the defining word of what's going on.
Yeah.
And I think it's the pendulum swinging all the way back. And it's kind of in the middle right now, so I don't think it feels crazy. I actually, as a person who thinks it's time we got back to a logical way of thinking, hate to assign logic to Donald Trump because a lot of the times that'll backfire on you. But it seems to be, it's like, hey, you wanted me to do this, I'm going to do it.
Right.
And whether you like it or not, this is the guy that got elected, and it's radical acceptance by the left, which I don't think they've done yet. And they're still fighting their old battle by screaming and yelling at what could happen instead of coming to the table with ideas like today singing or whenever that was, the singing thing. And it's just like this cry out for fairness that they feel like they were wrong. Someone like complaining about referees. It's not going to change anything.
Not going to work.
And so I don't see a solid fight coming from the opposition, which makes him seem stronger. So this aggression that I'm seeing from Trump is like, I think it's welcome, but I got one eyebrow up just in case.
Yeah.
You know?
What's your word, Sal?
I agree with John on this 100%. So what Trump's been doing right now, it's been an amazing tactic, and I sort of used it to a lesser degree when I was on the council.
All right.
But you put so much stuff out there, you keep the other side completely unbalanced. They cannot catch up to you. And the minute you start slowing down, then they start to catch up. It's just like a horse race or let's say a race, a 100-yard dash. If you are so far ahead of the other side, which he is, they don't know what to go after. Do they go after the DEI stuff? Do they go after the Doge stuff? What do they go after? They have no idea what to go after because they cannot speak with one voice.
I've talked to people who love Trump and don't love Trump. The people who don't love Trump, the one thing they like so far, toughness.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what he exudes, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Maybe he's full of crap sometimes. Okay, that's fine. But he's not a pushover. And he's showing toughness. He's having all the media in the Oval Office every single day. He's being transparent. Yeah, he's lying like crazy half the time, but all the presidents do that. So I would say my word would be toughness.
Yeah.
So far. Bruce, you got a word? I know you have a word.
No, I mean, he's a pathological liar. I don't think all presidents are pathological liars. I think he's unique in that sense. But I think that the problem is, while there may be some good things that are happening, I don't know how you're supposed to figure out what's going on. I think government should be shrunk down 100%. Count me in. We had a Meghan McCain on yesterday. I said, as the good libertarian in the room here, everybody gets a 20% haircut on day one of when Bruce is king. I'm all the way across the board. We're going to right-size the government. We're only going to spend the money that we take in, full stop, period. I got no issue with any of that. That's not what's happening. They're going after what they think is their version of bad government spending. They have no problem with bad government spending in other areas. I'm like, we could do without a few aircraft carriers as well as doing without maybe some waste in the Medicaid program. I'm fine with both of those. That's not what's happening.
They're going to get to that. When you get to the Pentagon, right now it's the low-hanging fruit that you're seeing. Once they get into the Pentagon budget, I think you're going to see billions and billions of dollars cut.
I know you well enough.
Yeah.
The majority of federal spending is entitlements.
Correct.
And defense.
Yeah.
It's not money to foreign governments. It's not USA. That's not what we waste our money on. We waste trillions on the other stuff.
Well, Bruce, they're already looking at the entitlement programs. When you've got 6.5 million people in this country that Social Security has identified, they have active accounts of over 112 years old. 112-year-old, 6.5 million people in this country.
Zero argument.
That's what they're going to
go after it. I'm all in favor.
That's what they're doing.
But go after all of it.
They're going to. I'm telling you right now, they're going to do it. I don't think that they're going to leave any stone unturned on this. And I don't think there are going to be any sacred cows. There just aren't going to be. I think they're just going to go after every single person, and but every single entitlement.
Can we get Trump to pay for his own golf trips?
I don't know about that.
Isn't it sort of funny, though, that everybody shouts from both sides how they want freedom from this, freedom from that? And in a way, I see all these cuts as like, all right, do it yourself. We'll cut this stuff. And now you guys take care of it. And everybody panics like, no. We need government stuff. We need it constantly. It's like, no, I'm cutting government stuff because you guys complain about it.
Is what's going on, though, an example of how Congress doesn't work in reality? I mean, this is the job of Congress, right?
More importantly, they keep using the same language that they've used 30 years ago when they start saying, hey, we've got to go in there, just change the budget.
Right.
They never do.
No.
Well, you got to take a scalpel to it, not an axe.
Yeah.
I mean, they use the same
and
language.
They've never done
the same
it.
stuff.
And that's not R&D. Congress doesn't work.
They never will do it.
Yeah.
But if scalpel, not axe, never worked, then let's throw the axe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're inside the War Room. Bruce and Gaydos, Sal DiCiccio. We've got John Holmberg coming up next, second half of the War Room. Groceries and gas prices soar. Is Trump wasting his time on Gaza and Greenland and not lowering your prices for eggs? We're going to talk about it. It is the War Room. Stick around.
The KTAR News app is your connection to Arizona's news station for breaking news as it happens, live traffic updates, podcasts, and live streaming KTAR shows. The KTAR News app is presented by Rias Plumbing and Air Conditioning.
You know, the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth understand no two retirement plans are the same. Literally, no two of you are alike, and neither should your retirement plan be that way. Trajan Wealth offers guidance on a variety of financial objectives, including ways that you could earn higher potential returns and address tax concerns. Trajan Wealth will help you today develop a plan that meets your specific financial goals. And it all starts with a phone call. It's complimentary. No obligation. Just give them a ring at 480-990-3300. Again, that number is 480-990-3300. Of course, you can find them online at TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC, a registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery. Ends President's Day. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one?
We have the right Duralast battery for you, only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery?
We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Only 50% of Arizonans believe their health insurance will cover them in a major medical emergency, like a car accident or an unexpected life-changing diagnosis. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona aims to change that perception. AZ Blue often takes care of more than 99% of hospital charges in major emergencies, protecting you and your family from devastating financial consequences. To learn more about how AZ Blue protects its members, head to azblue.com/truestory.
This is Greg Hagan. I want to put cash in your pocket. Have you thought about selling your home? Well, Inc. 5000 just named 72 Sold the #1 real estate firm in the state of Arizona. Why? More money for Arizona home sellers. Our competitors must wonder if we have a secret playbook to get more money for you. Turns out we do, but only for you and only at 72sold.com. Get more money for your home at 72sold.com.
Jewelry Gram, it's your friends at Shane Company here to remind you that Valentine's Day is Friday, February 14th. We have just the right gift for your sweetheart, like heart-shaped necklaces, birthstones, or diamond studs. Getting engaged? Create a dream ring and choose from natural rubies, colorful sapphires, and natural and lab-grown diamonds in all shapes and sizes. At Shane Company, love is always in the air with our unmatched free lifetime warranty and everyday competitive prices. Come visit us in-store and at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
When you're hurt in an accident, results matter, and Sweet James stands above all the rest. They deliver the best medical care, the most amount of money, and justice to every single injured victim. You're not just another number. You're a real person who deserves the best. Oftentimes, the attorneys at Sweet James represent a second chance at life for many clients. They take that seriously. If you're ever hurt in an accident, call Sweet James at 800-9-MILLION. That's 800-9-MILLION. 800-900-0000 or sweetjames.com. Proud partner of your Phoenix Suns.
KTAR News now.
We are coming up on 5:30. Good afternoon. I'm Becky Lynn.
Arizona votes.
Karen Taylor Robeson announcing today that she's running for governor in 2026. In Robeson's last run, she lost in the Republican primary to Kari Lake. And it appears Arizona Congressman Andy Biggs might have a better shot at beating incumbent Katie Hobbs in next year's gubernatorial race when compared with Robeson, at least right now. American Encore President Sean Noble commissioned the K-Strat poll that showed Biggs up 1 point over Hobbs.
And then we asked Hobbs and Karen Taylor Robeson separately, and it showed Hobbs up 2.
President Trump has already thrown his endorsement behind Robeson, but Noble believes that endorsement could change. You can hear Congressman Andy Biggs on the Mike Broomhead Show tomorrow at 9:05. An Arizona U.S. Senator saying he does not support the nomination of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to be the nation's next Secretary of the Health and Human Services Department. KTAR's Ballin Overstoles is live in the news center with the story.
Yeah, Becky, speaking before the Senate vote, which is likely tomorrow, U.S. Senator Mark Kelly said RFK Jr. is not qualified to lead the U.S.'s health department. Senator Kelly describes the nominee as someone who does not support nor understand scientific endeavors.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has spent much of his career doing the exact opposite, rejecting science, spreading conspiracy theories, and putting public health at risk.
Kelly also says since RFK Jr. advises on anti-vaccine lawsuits, he has a financial conflict of interest. Live in the news center, Ballin Overstoles, KTAR News.
A Hawaii volcano is shooting lava into the air again.
Kilauea, which has been erupting sporadically for the last couple of months, is once again spewing lava, shooting it up into the air. Kilauea is one of the world's most active volcanoes. This time it's mainly only a show. No homes are in danger. Lava flow is on the floor of a crater, but a vent shot lava about 330 feet into the air. It's the 9th eruptive episode since December 23rd. The site has visitors gathering now at Volcanoes National Park to get a glimpse. Alex Stone, EBC News.
Let's see how your ride home looks now. Here's John Roller. He's live in the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
All right. Thank you very much, Becky Lynn. Right now, we have got heavy stop-and-go slowing eastbound I-10 just south of the 202s. We've got a reported crash right near Riggs Road, and that would explain the heavy slowing. Also seeing some slowing folks coming off the 10 southbound on the 347 as they head into Maricopa. Almost School Road just south of Germain. New crash coming in Chandler this hour. 47th Avenue and Northern. Look for a collision there, and a crash at 43rd Avenue in Peoria, and still working those closures from earlier this morning. Camelback closed from 59th to 57th Avenue, and also a very serious crash of fatalities. Cactus 87th Avenue, that is closed this hour as well. Traffic is brought to you by the Desert Institute for Spine Care, where relief meets expertise. Voted top doctors for 14 years and counting. See the disc difference at sciatica.com. John Roller, KTAR News.
We'll see mostly cloudy skies tonight, a low around 49. Tomorrow, our chance of rain increases a little to 30%, right around 70. 71 Friday, and a 60% chance of rain. 61 right now in Surprise. Weather brought to you by Howard Air. I'm Becky Lynn on Arizona's news station, KTAR News.
Now, back to the War Room. Insight and analysis about the biggest political stories in AZ and DC.
Welcome back to the War Room. I did get a text from one of our amazing listeners at 620 goes, who the hell are the people on the radio right now? That would be Sal DiCiccio, former Phoenix City Council member, and one-third, I don't know, a quarter of Holmberg's morning sickness. He is John Holmberg from KPD. I don't know how you describe that anymore. So, appreciate having both of you with us right now. So let's talk a little economy, if you will. Groceries, specifically eggs, and gas going up. Is Trump wasting his time talking about the Mar-a-Lago version of Gaza and buying Greenland and not lowering the price of consumer goods as he promised?
Well, from the perspective of eggs, let's just take eggs.
Let's go with
because
eggs.
They're really up over 200%.
We had Mr. Hickman on yesterday from Hickman Farms.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah. We learned all about eggs.
Did he came in his Rolls Royce?
I called him the Egg King. He goes, I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, because of the bird flu, they had, essentially the country killed off about 46 million chickens.
He said they lost 20% of their flock.
Yeah. It's just a big
laying
number.
flock. Yeah.
It's a big number. And that's going to have an adverse impact on food prices and on eggs. It's just going to go up. And that's what it's done. So, like, even if you want to take crude, Brent crude is $77 a barrel today. It was 71 probably about maybe 2-3 weeks ago. It's still not a huge increase. If you look at it, that's gone up. It's really the cost of production. It's where you're going to see the price of gas is going to be from the distillers, basically, the ones that are out there, getting the refineries to be able to put the gas out there. So that's where you're going to see the true gas. $6 a barrel is not going to have that huge of an impact on prices.
And that ebbs and flows
refineries
constantly anyway. I mean,
Yes.
everybody, 23 days in, and everybody's like, "What's Trump going to do about this?" I'm like, "All right, let's
But
calm
isn't
down."
that partly because he set the expectation?
Well,
yeah, but we have to be realistic about his expectations. I mean, look, he says stuff, and
If
you're
you
like,
believe,
grain of salt.
if you believe what he says or you don't believe what he says,
Right.
apparently you're wrong.
There's a middle. There's somewhere in the middle where we all have to look. He's going to scream it, and we're going to sit back. I always think there's winners and losers in things, right? And the egg prices are bad. But I was at IHOP the other day, and I had a maitre d'. They parked my car. There's a valet. They're killing it. Egg prices have changed them into steak 44 with pancakes. It's just it'll come back, and this is not a great thing. Eggs at $8.
Can I tell you that I'm actually consistent? I like to think I'm consistent. Biden didn't control the price of eggs or gas, and neither does Trump.
Right.
All right. The president of the United States cannot control the price.
Yes, they can.
Of consumer products
I can affect it.
and
I agree
or
with Gaydos.
globally traded commodities.
Well,
it's impossible.
I can tell you that they can do better with the price of eggs. All they have to do is vaccinate the chickens. We have the vaccine, and we won't use it. Joe Biden didn't want to use it. We had, as you said, Glenn Hickman on yesterday. He doesn't understand why the government doesn't put this vaccine into all these chickens.
He said he can't. He said they don't have access to the vaccine.
Yeah, 'cause the
that
government
is
isn't
produced in the United
giving
States
it to
and then
them.
sent to Europe to vaccinate their chickens.
So there is something that you could do about $9 egg prices. You can vaccinate these birds. You can
Yeah, but why
vaccinate
is it the
chickens.
government's job to vaccinate Mr. Hickman's birds? Those are Hickman's birds.
Well,
you know.
To have the standard from the FDA, they probably would be that.
Well,
and I understand that that's true, but as much stuff as they jam in our food, it's odd that they've drawn a line with this.
Yeah, that's where we're going to draw the line.
Yeah, it's a strange thing
on
to me,
keeping chickens from getting the flu.
Yeah, and that's the one that affects them the hardest when it goes south. So it's a really, I kind of agree with that. Like, all right, if we're going to say let's make the farmers be responsible for this, but not give them access.
No, I think you should have, and they should have the choice if they want to or they don't want to.
And let it be like, what is it, Tyson Chicken that says we don't use antibiotics? Okay,
that's
good.
on you.
We don't use the vaccine. All right,
that's on you.
I don't know that screams smart, but go ahead and do your business.
Yeah, I mean, the vaccine is there. It's ready. I don't know why Biden didn't use it. He wasn't really running the White House for that last couple of years. Maybe that's it. Trump is, more anti-vax now than he ever was, even though he got the COVID vaccine.
You think RFK Jr. is going to want to vaccinate chickens?
I don't think so.
He don't want to vaccinate babies.
I do my RFK impression, but you guys aren't paying me, so it's not going to happen. Do it tomorrow morning on KUPD.
All right, I'll listen to that one tomorrow. Okay, fair enough.
You got to take your shirt off, though, Jeff.
Yeah, I got to show the ad.
Off of it.
Did you see the I forget it was a senator who brought up red, white, and blue land to change the name of Greenland to red, white, and blue land after Gulf of America. It's like, you know what? Let's go for it. I think that's, and then I'm just, what's next? Amerida, that we just changed Canada into our own.
On the map?
Yeah, and the map. Just change it all.
John,
look,
you are on a roll.
I'm trying, Sal. I took a nap.
love it.
I got a nap today. I'm feeling fresh.
It doesn't surprise me. We're inside the war room. It doesn't surprise me that the president, I haven't heard him. I've heard him talk about everything except gas prices, except egg prices.
Well, because he can't control them and they're going up, so he wants to pretend it's not his problem.
Well, I mean, groceries, we're talking about inflation. If that is going up, that's what he talked about on the campaign.
Day one.
Among other things. But he was talking about the prices of groceries. And like Holmberg, you said it, like he says a lot of stuff. Well, we knew that he wasn't going to bring the egg prices down on day one, just like we knew he wasn't going to, solve Ukraine in day one.
Right.
But this is something that he does have to look at. This is real people that are struggling right now. And you're changing the name to the Gulf of America, and you're doing all this stuff. And there are real Americans out there that are saying, hey, I can't buy eggs. Gas prices are up 30 cents in the last month. But you're talking about buying Gaza.
Don't worry, tariffs are going to solve all that. Well, as the free market guy in the room
I'm
again.
Push back a little bit on this.
Yeah.
So he is talking about it when he's talking about deregulating, making things a lot easier for people to be able to get things done, being able to get the business community back on track again. He's already been talking about that. So he is talking about it. He's just not equating it to this is going to lower the price of goods, right? He's just not saying that. But at the end of the day, when you talk about deregulation, one of the things is it increases supply. Increases supply drops the cost of goods, right? It just a
you would
supply
hope,
demand.
yes.
As a whole, yeah, if you increase it enough. So when you're looking at a supply side, I mean, in the past, people always looked at demand. Well, the demand's so high. Well, you got to increase your supply. If you want to drop inflation, increase supply. You don't have to go in there and do a tightening of the market. I've always been opposed to that when it came to the financial markets. I said, just find an incentive for people to increase their supplies, their goods, and you get more in the market, you're going to see a drop in prices. That's how you lower inflation.
Or maybe he'll start his own farm and bring us Trump eggs.
Yeah. Which he definitely could.
He would do that.
Okay, I've got to start getting funnier.
Yeah,
I got to find a way to get funnier.
You were
here.
very serious here for a second. He was just waiting to come across with that.
You're doing great, Sal. You're doing a great job sticking up for me. But Trump eggs, the most luxurious eggs in all the world, all the land. A lot of people say they were too small, but I had big eggs. I got big eggs.
And they're beautiful. And they're beautiful.
Beautiful eggs, Sal. You're absolutely right.
The most beautiful ever.
If you want to talk about branding, though, they're branding, Trumpflation. And that's what he doesn't. That's going to drive him crazy.
Oh, of course it will.
It'll drive him crazy.
Listen, it's ridiculous to blame the economy, which is a global economy now, on who sits in the White House. I'm sorry. You're never going to convince me any different because I've got the economists on my side. You can believe what you can believe, but like the price of oil is set globally. It is not set by what you pumped out in your backyard.
I agree with the semantics of it and what you said, control versus effect.
Yeah.
And I think definitely it can affect the prices. But I don't
know. But like you talk about, we need to drill,
it.
baby, drill. I go, who's drilling the drilling? I go, I have friends that are literally in the oil business. So like, we don't drill when the price goes too low because we don't want to sell it at a lower price. That's not in our best interest.
Right.
So we shut the spigot off when the price goes too low. And then the price goes up, we start pumping it out of the ground again. It's amazing how that works, right? Checking the headlines. Don't worry, we're on top of it. The War Room back. We've got Sal DiCiccio, former Phoenix City Council member. And, of course, that other voice you hear. Well, it's been about 8 voices so far. That's John Holmberg from 98 KUPD, the host of Morning Sickness. Up next, can Trump end the war between Russia and Ukraine and at the same time buy Gaza? We're going to talk about it. It's coming up next. Outspoken on KTAR.
All right, let's talk about AZ Trim Light, aztrimlight.com. Remember the AZ in front of it when you go and search. Here's the deal. If you want trim lights on your home, innovative patented lighting system, and yes, it goes on the trim of your home, they're permanent lights, you got to call my friends at AZ Trim Light. Dan and Jody, listen, they've got some special pricing for you, right? Unlock exclusive savings just for you. And you use these lights all year round for all different types of holidays. We've got Valentine's Day coming up. You can take your phone, go to the AZ Trim Light app, and punch the button that says Valentine's Day, and the outside of your house is red. Obviously, for Christmas, this is going to be big for you. Obviously, for, Halloween, and we've got the 4th of July, red, white, and blue. These lights are awesome. I have them at my house. I purchased them a couple of years ago. Get them installed, and as I said, treat yourself to some unbeatable prices, limited time only. aztrimlight.com.
Hi, Jamie West here with my friend Dr. Maloney from Phoenix Secret for Weight Loss. So really, the secret is eating healthy foods, but I always feel satisfied. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. You eat the right amount of healthy foods at the right times of day, and that's what resets your metabolism so you can keep the weight off.
And what that does is it causes your metabolisms to start to shift towards a fat-burning metabolism, which is what we're all seeking. We're all seeking to learn or get our bodies to start burning fat efficiently. For for energy. When our bodies are not doing that, we gain weight, we don't feel very well, we're inflamed, we're tired, we don't perform like we should. And so when we help you learn how to eat the right foods at the right time of the day in the right quantities, we have it very well organized. And then we work specifically individually with you along the way to make sure that we give you great results and give you great value for the program.
Schedule your free consultation by calling 602-832-7440, 602-832-7440, or go to PhoenixSecretForWeightLoss.com.
Dave Burns here with Liberty GMC General Manager Chris Scott. And Chris, if KTAR listeners want to beat the heat, they can get an AC tune-up for only $69?
That's right, Dave. Of course we do. We know how important it is to keep your vehicle in tip-top shape. And right now, when you buy 3 tires, you get the 4th free. Plus, this month you can lease a brand new 2024 GMC Terrain for only $289 a month for 36 months.
Don't wait. Shop and buy online all the time at LibertyGMCAZ.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
KTAR News Flash.
It's 5:45. I'm Becky Lynn, and this is what you need to know right now. A federal judge has cleared the way for President Trump's plan to downsize the federal workforce with a deferred resignation program. This is a significant legal victory for the president after a series of legal setbacks. U.S. District Judge George O'Toole in Boston found the unions didn't have legal standing to challenge the program, commonly described as a buyout. The deferred resignation program has been spearheaded by Elon Musk, who's serving as Trump's top advisor for reducing federal spending. Under this plan, employees can stop working and get paid until September 30th. All of our top stories are just 15 minutes away. For more news, go to KTAR.com or the KTAR News app. And let's get another look at traffic now. Here's John Roller in the Valley Chevy Dealers Traffic Center.
Thank you, Becky Lynn. Got a new crash northbound I-17 just prior to the stack, and that's causing slowing all the way back to the split if you're coming northbound on the I-17. Still seeing heavy slowing on the eastbound I-10 south of the valley, right near the 202s. We had a crash right near Riggs Road, and you've got about 5.5 miles of heavy slowing, and that is affecting folks trying to get southbound on the 347 and get home down in Maricopa. So a few extra minutes on your ride in. Alma School Road just south of Germain. We've got a crash in Chandler, as well as a crash at 47th Avenue and Northern, and another crash at 115th Avenue and Grand Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by the Beatitudes Campus. Home is where the heart is at the Beatitudes Campus. Join us for a special Valentine's Day open house February 14th from 10 until noon. John Roller, KTAR News.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery. Ends President's Day. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. An important message about your timeshare from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. Contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about timeshare cancellation.
Call 800-292-7788. 800-292-7788.
Tired of fighting for your store's last bottle of water or lugging hundreds of bottles of water each year from the store to the car to the fridge to the recycling? For less than $1 a day from Parker & Sons, you can have an unlimited supply of bottle-quality water right at your tap. Drinking water keeps you healther, aids in weight loss, keeps skin hydrated, and flushes your body of toxins. Call Parker for your free estimate on a reverse osmosis system at 602-2-REPAIR or visit parkerandsons.com.
It's Joe Huizenga. I just got done with my personalized fitting at the Good Feet store. The amazing team over at the Good Feet store in Scottsdale took excellent care of me, and the good news doesn't stop there. I walked out of the store the same day with my new arch supports that are clinically proven to improve my balance and stability. 5 convenient Valley locations in Scottsdale, Glendale, Ahwatukee, Gilbert, and Goodyear. Head to goodfeet.com to find the Good Feet store nearest you. Schedule an appointment for a personalized arch support fitting or drop by anytime. It's the Good Feet store, goodfeet.com.
Now, back to the War Room. Insight and analysis about the biggest political stories in AZ and DC.
All right, we're inside the War Room. We've got Sal DiCiccio, the former Republican Phoenix City Council member. John Holmberg, 98 KUPD, host of the Morning Sickness. Bruce and Gaydos. So, last segment, War Room. Let's get into it. So, do we like that Trump wants to just take Gaza? Are we in? Because I'll just be honest with you. I don't think it's a terrible idea.
Really? Can you tell me all the other times it's turned out well when we've gotten involved in the Mideast?
Zero.
We're currently batting 0.
How many times have we tried with Gaza and the Palestinians over and over and over again? We have to do something different. I don't know if this is the right thing, but we have to do something different. And his plan is just going to take it over, see how it goes.
It's the first new idea, and nobody's countered it. So it's like you can sit and say you hate it all day. But you got anything else? Because it ain't totally working the way it sits. And when he said it's already destroyed, we might as well build it back. I mean, that's weird logic you can't argue with. It is destroyed. Somebody's going to have to build it again. Why not do it?
Well, the problem was they would have built it back minus the people that live there.
There's the issue.
Where they're going to have a problem with that, probably. Knowing that they've been willing to die for it and start wars with Israel over it, I don't think they're just going to voluntarily leave.
Look, I am not a fan of keeping us. And one of the things I did like, J.D. Vance came out and said that we're not going to put American troops out there. I like that.
Until somebody bombs Gaza Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, well, let's take that back.
Gaza-Lago.
That's not good. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I'm not a fan of keeping our troops out there and acquiring any more property. But like John said, it is the only new idea. And Gaydos even said it's something new. Maybe it's something that would work. Who knows?
Is that the only way to keep Hamas out of Gaza?
I don't know if you ever can.
I don't know that anything does that. I don't like this idea is more just the business end of let's just tolerate the virus that lives in this area and try to make it something that even repulses them in a strange way. They'll blow it up. There's no question once there is no doubt that when they'll let us build it, there'll be peace for 15 years.
They'll help
us build it
and then blow it up.
Sure.
And then blow it up.
They're patient people.
Yes.
It's been a few thousand years of this.
2,000 years. They're like, we got another couple. We can wait.
It's again, I'm with you, Gaydos. I think it's like, it's illogical logic.
I think the problem that we can't get away from is, and I guess I'm going to be on Sal's team on this, we enrage them.
Yeah.
Our presence enrages them, and I don't want our people and our troops to be the target. That's what I don't want.
I don't either.
By the way, for a conflict that will not end ever.
Yeah.
They don't even know why they're fighting anymore. It's just we were born into it.
Let me give you a different perspective that kind of melds all of this together, just kind of putting it together here. So the fact is, nobody's going to live there for tens of years, 10, 20 years.
Just from the destruction.
You can't do it. You can't build fast enough. It ain't going to happen.
You can't live in rubble.
You can't, exactly. Right. So no one's going to be coming back right away.
Bruce is in Apache Junction.
Well, there is Gaza Light.
That was actually good.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, you are funny. So you are good. So no one's going to be back there anyways. So at the end of the day, the whole thing with Jordan and Egypt, they're going to end up taking them. I'm guarantee you right now, they don't want to because nobody wants the Palestinians. I mean, I'm being very
that's the reality.
Nobody wants them.
Nope, they don't want all the problem that comes with them.
Want them. They
so
don't
Trump
want any
is going to entice them to take millions of Palestinians in? Well, I don't know how he's going to do that.
Well, $3 billion a year goes to Egypt alone. I mean, once they start saying, hey, look, we're just going to pull this money back. I mean, Trump is a one of the toughest negotiators I've ever seen on the world stage. Never seen anything like this before. I like what he's doing, and he just pushes his weight around. He pushes the weight of the United States around, as he should do that, to be able to get our interests put out there. So at the end of the day, where are they going to go anyways? No one's going to be putting up tents. No one's going to be doing that there. So they're going to end up in Egypt and Jordan. I feel bad for the Jordanians more. I mean, if you look at that part of Egypt, there's really not a whole lot out there for them to go to, right? But the Jordanians, I mean, they've already assimilated so many millions of Palestinians over the years. I feel pretty bad for them. But at the end of the day, what Trump is saying is that this is no one else's problem. They're just going to push it off onto others.
What about free housing in Greenland?
Two birds with one stone.
It's as silly an idea as building Gaza Trump lago. We'll put them there.
Two birds at one stone.
And it's all right.
How's Greenland sound to you?
You want to be warm again? You behave. It's kind of, well, nobody wants to live in Greenland. There's 50,000 people.
To live in Greenland
bigger than Australia.
on purpose.
That's right. 53,000 people live in the whole country.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
crazy.
Gentlemen, and by that I mean Sal, thank you. And Holmberg, appreciate having you both in here today on the War Room. Thanks so much. Sal DiCiccio, John Holmberg, a raucous and laughter-filled War Room today. I appreciate that. We've got a quick check of the headlines on the way, and up next, AI. Are you using it at work? If so, how? And if not, why aren't you using it? We'll talk about it. It's coming up next. Outspoken on KTAR.
All right, I want you to discover the power of semaglutide and tirzepatide. These are the